Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender in Europe, game designed by Salvatore Vasta, published by GMT Games. We are continuing with the Thousand Year Reich series, which is what this game is, and you will see us starting in, March of 1943. The weather is poor in the cold zone and fair in the mild, fair in the warm, so not a good break for the Allies to get the Germans to get fair this early. So we will just go ahead and get started and see where we go. First things first, I think I'm taking... So I went into declarations of war, don't think anybody had one. We'll go into economies. Russians are up to 18, the British are up to 14, along with the Americans, and the Germans are like up to 34 or something, 32. 14, 15, 16. Yeah, they're at 32 here. And he gave one to the Italians, I think. Yes. Okay, so there we are. And now we go into strategic warfare versus the West. I'm at +2, 3, because I had a bombed marker. And he's at +5. I don't remember if we had anything. Do we have anything to play? Let's check. He had submarines. I had partisans. So I think we went to combat commitment. And neither one of us committed because he's saving his subs for when he actually loses a factory so he can get it right back. And so we just roll. He rolls a 3 + 5, so he's got an 8. I rolled a 4, so yeah, British are down another factory again. And now we go to strategic movement. I have no idea what he did. Oh, he brought an airplane over to the east. I think he's going to fly one back to the west. And I moved a Russian airplane up to the front line. And then we're into Axis operations phase. And then this airplane is going after... I don't remember what he's going after, if it's Bomber Command or if it's Fighter Command. He's going after probably Fighter Command. Yeah. So he rolls a 6. I rolled a 3 minus 2 minus 3, which is a 1, so he got both of them. And then he attacked with... What the hell is this? Oh, he's a 0 against my bomber, which is just ridiculous. Or no, he went after the other fighter, I guess. Yeah. He only got one there, so... And he went with the Italian air to get the American bomber, and then I think he just uses the Italian air to run up the Americans. So now he attacks with his armored, and I have no air support at all. So I think we're going to be going to combat commitment here. Now we're setting... I started out at +1, he started out at +3. It's +4, -1 for the mountains. We go to combat commitment. Both committed. He's throwing in his airplane from Southampton. I throw in my tanks. If I'd have been thinking, I probably should have thrown in... had a free forces here that I thought about throwing in, and then I thought about not doing it so that I would be at least +2 on the next attack when he comes after my Americans. trying to stretch my pluses out as much as possible. So he's at +5, I'm at +3. 7 movement points left. He rolls a 4 + 5 is a 9. I roll a 3 + 3 is a 6, which is enough to retreat me. And I was in a real quandary here on where to retreat to. I decided I'd let the first Canadian die because I wanted to be able to try and slow him down from getting at least to Belfast. I didn't think with fair weather that I could stop him from doing just about whatever he wanted to. And so then he attacked the Canadian. So he's +6 to my +3. We went to combat commitment because I still have that free forces. He threw in his airplane, and I did not. So he got a 14 to my 6. And then he goes after me again. Oh, no, I think he went back after the Americans now. I think he went after the Americans. No, he's... Oh, no, it's +6 because I'm -2 because I'm flipped. So he's +6 to my +1, and we didn't commit anything. He got a total of 7. I could only barely roll a 4, so I died. And then he had another attack. I think he attacks the Americans. This is up his airplane. He gets a 9. I get a 6, so I retreated, so I go into Glasgow. He chose not to take the Hex. He attacked the BEF because now it's isolated with his infantry. So he is +3 to my +1. And yeah, he threw in his tanks as well, so he'd be a +5. And I think he even throws an airplane, so he's at +7. So +7, he rolls a grand total of 10. I roll an 8, which meant that I held, and then he comes back at me at +5 to +1. And I had another tank, so I threw it. +5 to +3. He rolls a 9. I roll a 4, of course. Then he takes this infantry unit and goes 1, 2, 3. And he's attacking at +3. I think he throws his airplane in. Yes. So I'm at +1, and he's at +5. Or I'm at -1, sorry. So at -1 to +5, he rolled high enough with a 4 + 5, he's a 9. So even if I roll a 6, at -1 is a 5, which is a retreat, which is why you don't see me roll, I just lose. So take him off, he takes that. And that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think he has 2 movement points left. Decided to move there. And then he has the Spanish go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes my convoy go away. And I went and just sailed it to Malta because I didn't know. I figured one way or the other I'll probably just lift it if I need it somewhere, but I don't. Malta makes him have to think about if he loses enough Italian units. You know, I can possibly pull off a sneaky conquest of Italy. And then he brings the Italian fleet and takes the German infantry over here to Beirut. And he's got Italian moves into there. That was him. He moved my Malta guy out of my fort. I don't know why he did that. It's illegal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the Sevastopol airplane goes flying down to the Middle East because he sees me getting ready to come in to try and take out his +2 for holding things on the Persian Gulf, Basra, and Kuwait. This guy, he moves out and up. And then this guy. And this guy leaves the Russian front to come help out in the Middle East. And I can't remember if he actually moved this guy or if he just... Okay. Now we're into his supply phase, I think. Oh no, he moved the Italian army up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because it's in low supply. It's just trying to make sure I can't do any funny end runs or anything. And then, what is he doing with the Spanish? Well, yeah, I got somebody in there to garrison. That. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's more worried about the Gibraltar connection than letting me get back into Portugal. Which kind of makes sense. Onwards we go. Now he's moving miners, so it's like, here comes the Yugoslavs. What else did he do? Oh, now he's doing his supply. Ran up the Italians. I think he ran up the Germans as well. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 6 guys. 7 guys. So he had to take 7 sorties on his convoys. And then he supplied the airplane and the German infantry. Supplying Italian too. Oh, and the Italian that's in Suez. Forgot about that. Okay. Now we go into Western Action subphase. I don't really have a lot I can do here. Do have another American surprise attack marker, and I think I go ahead and do an invasion down here. Actually, I do this first. I move Malta out to there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just so I have somebody on that port. Then I moved the task force. One, 2, 3. So that I'm in front of Belfast. The idea being that I can retreat across the strait, making subsequent attacks less likely to succeed, hopefully. That's my thought, because next turn's going to be April. April will be poor because it's fair here in March. And then I went ahead and attacked, I think, at +1 to +2, because he didn't have any airplanes. I could only roll a 4, so I couldn't. I was in hopes that if I could push him back a space, I might be able to do something, but that didn't work. And then I attacked again, and I got a 7. And he rolled a 7. I think that's all I could do was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I could attack one more time. Rolled a 5, and he rolled a 3, so he finally retreated. And I went ahead and took the hex. You'll see why in a minute here, although I do it kind of out of order. Then I play my surprise attack marker in the Persian Gulf there, C-Zone 30, what is it, 32? Yeah, C-Zone 32. Saying it's a naval one. I threw my partisans on his Turkish garrison. And then I moved activated the 8th Army along with the convoy and the fleet and said, go get him. So he's at -234. I put 8th Army over there so I could do my calculations. And basically I am +3 and then +2 for the Navy. I threw my free forces in, and then I'm -1 for invading a city and a guy in the hex. So I was at +3. I threw in the free forces to make it +4. So even with a 1 +4, which is only a 5, at best, even if he'd had a ground support to use, the best he could have gotten would have been a 3, 6 -3, which it's kind of like the invasion of Norway. It's a guaranteed success. In this case, I was hoping to do a little better so I could actually eliminate a unit. But that didn't work out. I just managed to get him to retreat, which, isn't as good. And I put the American fleets and stuff into there. And then I got 2 turns to get my free forces back. And I think I was... That was my partisans die roll, was also 2 turns. And then I'm basically done in doing my supply phase there. Right, you should be up to 3 or 2. Then the Soviets marched to... Oops, hitting the back button. Soviets just marched somebody down. And what did I do? Is that all I did? Yeah, we're in the no supply phase. No supply phase for the West. What did I do? Did I take off those fleets? Yeah, I took off the fleet that was in Edinburgh, knowing that it was going to go away anyway, so I wanted to be able to get an earlier build on it. The Belfast one might be able to actually do something in the near future if I can get it replenished. But, and then we're doing German replenishments, or Axis, I should say. And then we go into the West. Of course, the Americans just come down. And then I spent 3 for the British, 7. I was at 14, and I spent 3 and 7, 10. So that left me with 4, so it's like thinking of getting this fleet back or something, I think. I'm not sure. But I didn't do that, so I must be going to build something. The Russians get theirs aircraft down. Mobilization for the Axis. He managed to build a Panzer. The British went ahead and built... What did I build? What did I build? I have no idea what I built there. I spent 4 points to build something. What did I take off? Well, we gotta check now. Yeah, these guys got killed. This guy got removed. Did I build a British airplane? But the airplane was already there. I built him... I built the 10th there. I don't know why I took off 4 points. He only costs 1. I don't know what my other 3-point build was. That's really weird. I'm not sure what I did there. Oh, I built the second RAF in Western Indian Ocean. That's what it is. Okay, I get myself scared there. I'm like, I spent points and I don't know what I built. Yeah, I was building a British aircraft to hopefully try and get it over here to try and help me against the German aircraft. But I'm too little, too late, I'm sure. And the British, Russians built their shock army. And I'm going right by the diplomacy phase. So we're into diplomacy. He pulled a no event. The West just... Oh, this is us just looking to see how bad it is. I said, okay, well, the West is going to put in 2 no events, and the Russians are going to pull. They get a no event. Trying to keep the cup diluted to try and keep them from getting any more people in the war, but it's not working the way I like. Then we are to end of turn phase, so this should be pretty quick. And then there's the weather die roll. So now we have to go to the pour line, or the pour line in the cold zone. And we rolled a 2, so that's going to stay poor. And then in the mild zone, it was a 6, but it was fair. And a 6 becomes severe, and then a 2 in the warm zone, which was also fair, becomes poor. So we have poor, severe, poor. So that's something anyway for April. And oh yeah, I guess we're doing production. I should have that up so you can see those things come blowing by. And it just moves their stuff. I think the Germans give the Italians another one this turn. This is the strategic warfare die roll. I didn't get any bombed markers in, so I'm only +2. I rolled a 5, he rolled a 10, so down I go again. He's fixated with making you be at 9 lost factories, whether he's the Allies or the Axis. Strategic move. I think he brought his infantry unit down here. I don't think I had one for the West. And the Soviets just moved their infantry unit. And then we're into operations for the Axis. And this is poor weather, so he goes 1, 2. Thought about it, said no. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It puts the armored unit in with it. So he was 3, 4, -2. He was +2 to my -1. And he rolled a 3 and I rolled a 4. So that stopped that for a turn. I'm really confused. Maybe we're doing air combat? No, those would be automatics. I don't think we're doing air combat here. Two +2. Oh, it was there, that one. He's not +2. He should have been +1. Oh. Okay, this is him arranging his aircraft so that he can... Takes me down. Okay. That's what all that was. And he brings his Turks up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. What's he doing? Why hit undos? And he wanted to come down that side of the river. And brings his armor over to the east. This armor coming down south, I thought, oh, for sure that he was going to use that armor to, like, invade Malta or something. I don't know why he was going that way. Or maybe he thought he would need it in the Middle East to stop my invasions or something. Started to try and move that airplane to the east, and I said, or to the west, and I said, you can't do that because you got to have 2 airplanes on there. Since he sent one to the Middle East, so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So he's kind of stuck on the garrison thing. I think we're into supply phase here. Yeah. And I think he left the attack and go back to low supply. He supplied the 2 Germans, let his Italians go back to low supply. He forgot to move the Turk, so I said, go ahead and move it, get it on its way. Now we're into Western Action subphase, and I picked up UK 9th. That was 369, so I stopped there. I took this convoy out and went 1, 2. Picked that up. Picked up the airplane, brought it in here. And then if I had a brain, which I don't think I did, and that's where I stopped there. And I think that's like all I did down here. Oh no, I think I attacked one of his garrison units. Because I can only attack 1. Is that right? Yeah, I think I was attacking that one because I could eliminate it. And if I did, I could technically advance there, and he couldn't move into Basra. Which would mean when he attacks me the following turn, I could retreat into Basra, depending on who's doing the attacking and stuff. I think we went into combat commitment. He threw in a ground support. I don't think I threw in my airplane. Why am I... Yeah, because I'm +2 and -1 for the river, -1 for the weather. I rolled a 5. He rolled a 1. So that should have gotten rid of him. And then this is my huge mistake. I will show it to you again. What I should have done here I should have actually moved him to there. Because he can't go, this guy here, can't go straight there. they've got to push me out of the way first. And by being here, you know, he's got to attack across the river into the desert or whatever. Even if he gets this guy pushed, he can actually retreat to there. And even if he assaults with both of these, I can still retreat to there. So I can still hold Basra no matter what. And instead, I just stayed there, which was another huge mistake on my part. I am making so many of them this game, it isn't even funny. So that was our whole supply thing. I put the 8th American Fleet on Edinburgh side to, if I somehow magically, miraculously hold it, I can interfere with his supply. And I had to go up to supply that, and then we were into the Russians who just move up to the line. No supply phase. Did I take anything off? I took that. Yeah, I went ahead and took the guy out of Belfast because I could build one now. Because I have a fleet in the build queue now. Just put him there and just try and cycle him through that way. Try and get another airplane into England or something. So he's doing his replenishments. And getting his airplanes. And then I'm doing mine. So it's 7 for the British. 10 for the British. And of course the Americans just come down. And I built the Gibraltar unit in Belfast, just so I had somebody to hold that. I was worried about him getting fair weather and busting through me or something in May. I wanted to make it so he at least has to roll the dice. And oh, did we go by the diplomacy phase? Ah, yes. He pulled a political success. He couldn't pull his pro marker. He had to pull one of my political successes. So he just goes ahead and activates Vichy, I believe. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're activating Vichy. So we just put down all the control markers, and then he has to roll a die. Of course, he rolls a 1, which is what he needs. He needs a 1 or a 2. And so it activates for him. And so he gets all these Vichy units and their naval surface action marker, too, which is what he was really interested in. Because now he has a German one, a French one, and he's got the 2 Italian navies in the Atlantic. And I'm pretty well messed up on being able to do anything at all. So I think we're at end of turn phase now. So here's the turn, and here's this. And off we go. The important things is I get some lend-leases. Whoops. I got an upgrade thing for the Americans, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to roll for some Americans. 1, 5, 4, 4. Again, more high numbers than low numbers. So I get an airplane in 1, him in 5, and then a ground unit and a surprise attack marker, not until September. So it's very annoying that I can't get any low numbers on my what am I doing? Oh, I'm hitting the back button. And then it's May. And he will roll the weather. 6, 4, 6. And if you look at the player aid card, 6, 4, 6 is a poor, and a poor. So gives him much better chance of getting fair weather in June. But with poor weather everywhere, we've got some time here. So, and that's why that Middle East thing is so important, because if I'd have been on the other side of that river, I probably would have had a better defensive position against the stuff that he tries to pull off. So, again, I'm playing very, very poorly. I think we're just doing production here, which is nothing. Just it's all pretty standard. Spanish back up to their full 4, and the Germans. Yeah, in April they went up to having their 3rd factory. So they're like at 1734 now, so they have lots of points. And I don't have any way of getting them away from him. So he's set his thing to 5 and 2. I think we're in combat commitment. He committed and I did not. I figured it wasn't worth it. The British don't have any factories to speak of anyway. And I'm not likely to keep him, actually cut him down any. So I just saved it. What I had to play was partisans, and I wanted to save the partisans for the future. So he's, he rolled a 5 plus 5, which is a 10. The best I can get is like a 4. So I lost a factory, went up to 8, 9, and then he's subs don't come back for 6. So maybe I can do something with that. And then he's moving Swedes. Strategically moves it. If I did anything with the West. Yes, I put the guy that, since it's poor weather, and I know he can only really advance 1 hex here with all these units sitting around, I decided to take the Gibraltar guy out and move him down there, because I can then build, I have the Canadians I can build into Belfast this turn, which is the idea. So, or if necessary, I can actually move like the task force into Belfast or something. Anyway, I don't think the Soviets did any strategic movement. We're into action subphase. So he moves this infantry. 2, 3. I don't know what he was trying to do. 1, 2, 3. Move the Italian up, but he wouldn't have enough point. That's what he was thinking, moving the Italian up and attacking him, but it costs 2 for the unit and 2 for the city, and he only has 4 movement points, so he can't actually attack from where he's sitting. So then he said, okay, well, I'll just use the German then. Used both of them to take out Edinburgh, because that's the threat to his supply line. I believe he's at 3, 4... and he should be -2 for the weather. And I'm at a -1, and then we got combat commitment. Or he's probably going to run some air here first, I think. I think he's going to run some air here first. So he managed to get me up to one sortie on all of them. And then he uses the Italians to take out a couple. The Germans, I think, got one of them too. There's like 1 left for the Americans, and he decides to just go ahead and just run everything up to 6s. He's like, I don't want to have any of your airplanes around. It's like, okay. So now we're back to this combat. It's +2 to -1. We go to combat commitment. We both throw tanks. So he's at 3 and I'm at 0. He rolls a 9, of course. I rolled a 1, of course, which is an elimination. Goes away. The airplane flies over there. The fleet goes there. I thought about there. Where did I end up? I think I ended up in Belfast. And he took it with the armored unit. Then he had the infantry unit attack. Do you have the infantry unit attack? I don't know what he's doing. Now he's down here. Yeah, now he's down here. He moved that Turk out. Moved this Turk in. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to do an assault. And he's cheating. This guy can't be there. Because that's where this guy started from. Oh, damn it. Anyway, he's starting off at 2, 3, 4. So he rolled a 5. I think we're doing air combat here. He rolled a 5 and I was at -2. Oh no, because we're in poor weather. That's right. So I was actually like at -4. So I had to take 2 no matter what on a 5. And then he runs me up to 0. And then he's going to attack. So I threw my free forces in. And he threw in his airplane, I believe. Oh no, he didn't throw anything in this turn. So he rolled a 5, and I rolled a 2 + 4 is a 6. And free forces coming back in 2 turns. And then he's... Now you can see why, because of the weather, it would have been so much more important to hold this hex out here. Because then I could have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right back and put this garrison unit in here in Kuwait. And then I'd have 2 ports and take away his +2. So that's why it was important that I move into this hex. And I didn't. Because I was an idiot. So, let that be a lesson to you. And now he moves that guy over there. So that he's in Eastern Front garrison thing. And then this guy comes flying back here. And this, I don't know why he's moving it down to there, but he does. And then he moves a Vichy guy. Moves 2 Vichy guys. I think he's moving miners now. He starts to move more Vichy. I went, wait. You don't have that many points. You only have 2 points with the Vichy. So he gets this Finland out of here. Brings this fleet back up here to be able to garrison. Goes there, and I said, what the hell? I'm going to take a pot shot with the American fleet just because I can. I was -1, he's -2, because I'm +2, -2 for the weather. He's -2 for the weather. So I'm in that -1 to him. I rolled a 6, -1, which is a 5. So I did my part. He came down to a 1, so he took 2 sorties to go in there. And I was like, okay, well, and it forced him to have to land at Plymouth, because you have to go to the closest port in terms of movement points. And so it was either Plymouth or Brest, and he decided to go into Plymouth. I don't know why. I would have gone into Brest. But and this is him just moving up to the front, getting ready to kill the Russians. And now he's doing supply to those 2. And then he's supplying up here. He just does the Germans and lets the Italians go to no supply. Does the aircraft and the Germans. Then this was another mistake on my part. I should have run his Italian fleet up in Plymouth, but I didn't. So I'm not sure if I did anything here. Oh, I had those 2 guys attack the armor because he's +3 and I'm going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 3. I think it's going to be +1 to +3, something like that. Not sure. Let's see, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, -1 for the city, -1. It's +2 to +3. Now, it's a real long pot shot, but if he rolls a 4 and I roll an 8, he could be flipped, which would, mess it with him. If I had... What I should have done is I should have thrown the partisans on him, because I could have had a chance to defeat this armored unit, just blow it up. And I didn't do it. And instead, I rolled an 8, and he rolled a 2 + 3 is a 5, so he got flipped, which kind of messed up his building. But, if he'd have been 2 + 1, that would have eliminated him. But I played the partisans, which would have, kind of slowed down this whole British offensive that he's got. So, again, another mistake on my part. I didn't try to maximize my ability to kill that armored unit. And I think I'm in the supply subphase. So I supplied both of those. Yeah, and Soviets just decide to move everybody up here. Oh, come on. So we're all in a nice little compact group getting ready to turn ourselves into guards armies. And we go to the no supply phase. The Axis didn't take anything. Okay, now this is where they can take off this guy because he's in no supply. And I think he flipped him over instead. Western no supply phase. I didn't take anything off. These are the Soviets. We go into replacements for the Axis. Which is going to be pretty straightforward here. Get the airplanes. Get the convoys. And I think I'm doing the West. Yeah. So I did the Americans. Did Fighter Command, did Bomber Command, did this second RAF. Why is the American convoy at 2? Oh, that's right, I did I must have done a switcheroo. What am I doing? I think I'm just readjusting. Oh yeah, my home guard that got killed gets... He built something. Oh, he built the Turk. Where did he build it? Why didn't it jump to the Turk? Or did he build it underneath my card here? Oh, he built the Turk there. Okay. I was like, I know he built the Turk, but I don't remember where he built it. I came back and built the 1st Canadian in Belfast, which made sense. And... diplomacy. Yeah, he pulled a no event. And... I pulled a no event with the West, I believe, and then I put it back in with the Russians. Oh, and we had blown by the upgrade phase, and I said, I forgot to do my upgrade because this guy suddenly becomes a real boy. And he said go ahead and do it, since I was letting him move things he forgot to. So now we're doing end of turn phase. Sorry this is taking so long, but lots of little rinky-dink things. Got another American airplane. Got another upgrade for the Russians. Got a couple ultras. That's what I was waiting for, because now I have the ultras and the partisans. I have like 3 turns of being able to try and mess with strategic warfare or whatever I'm trying to do. So that's why I was holding off somewhat. Although, in retrospect, I probably should have thrown the partisans on the tank unit to give myself a chance to kill it. That would have been the most important thing, to try and secure northern England so that I have, the ability here in the summer of 43 to try and push southward. It'd take him a while to get an armored unit back there. And then he rolls the weather. So we go to player cards. So we're in May. Everything was poor. So in June, a 1 through 4 in the cold zone makes it fair. And a 1 through 4 in the mild zone makes it fair. And a 5 in the poor zone makes it poor. Or in the warm zone makes it poor. So it stayed poor in the Mediterranean, the warm zone down by Basra. Again, that's why it would have been so much better for me to have the 8th Army outside of Basra, because he has to push it back into Basra before he can take Basra back. And I could have possibly gotten 2 turns worth of not having to face +6 but only +4, which then makes using the ultras worthwhile, because I might be able to actually, not so much gain 1 for myself, but maybe get lucky and cut 1 from him here and there. But that's not the way, and that's the end of the log file. Okay, so there you have it. That's March through May of 1943 of the Unconditional Surrender, Thousand Year Reich series. It doesn't look good for the Western Allies. Russia was conquered in 42, so they're not coming back till the winter of 44. December 44 is 43 is the first time they can roll. As always, I'm Dren608. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Hit that like button so YouTube algorithms will keep everything up for people to find this when they come searching for it. And until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.